Sibling estrangement carries profound hurt and a deep stigma. Few can bear to admit to the suffering and shame when the unique bond with a brother or sister breaks. It's even more daunting to expose this emotional abyss in public, opening it up to the larger world. For the better part of 40 years, my only sibling, a brother, and I had almost no relationship. I can't recall a specific fight or incident that led to our estrangement. We simply didn't have much to say to each other. And, in time, we said nothing at all. In the early years of our cutoff, I tried. I reached out many times, but he was unresponsive, so eventually I quit trying. I couldn't force him to have a relationship with me. Eventually, I hardly knew who my brother was anymore. I simply couldn't understand the estrangement. I ruminated endlessly on this incomprehensible situation, an utter contradiction of the very nature of family, an aggressive rejection of the fundamental way most living creatures organize themselves. Questions nagged at me. Am I alone in my suffering? Do others live in a constant state of mourning the living? And what did this failure say about me? How should I explain to my children that they'd never know their cousins on my side of the family? Could I prevent other family members from being caught up in the split? How should I portray this cutoff to friends and family when I didn't understand it myself? If I couldn't trust my only sibling to want a relationship with me, whom could I trust? Given my loss, would I ever be able to find a sense of balance and well-being? Support groups exist for the estranged, but many who endure this trauma are reluctant to join or to even reveal their heartbreaking stories to others. I realized early on the disturbing nature of how others perceive a sibling rupture. If, for example, I tell someone I'm divorced, that person probably won't flinch. If I say I don't get along with my mother, there's a good chance they'll roll their eyes empathetically. But if I say I have no relationship with my brother, they might arch their eyebrows, wondering if I'm trustworthy. Questions arise, silent but inevitable. What's wrong with her? Is this a good candidate for friendship? If she can't maintain a relationship with her own brother, is she capable of sustaining any relationship? No one wants to admit to this level of family dysfunction, to face these elemental doubts about oneself. Most of us suffer in silence, isolated twice, not only from our sibling, but also from social support against the loss. Few friends or family members unacquainted with the experience truly understand the depth of this hurt, and even fewer want to talk about it. Some have their own anxieties, fearing that merely engaging with the topic might usher in an estrangement in their own lives. They seem to feel that the condition might be contagious, and they too might one day be left lost and alone. At the same time, whenever I tell people that I am working on a book about sibling estrangement, they sit up a little straighter and lean in, as if I've tapped into a dark secret. Those who haven't experienced this loss likely know someone who has, and they welcome insights to understand it. Even when estrangement is a clear-headed choice, a survival mechanism to move forward from abuse or unbearable discord, the cutoff leaves disconnected siblings in a world of secrecy and shame. The cutoff from a sister or brother becomes a fault line, dividing the family and a life into before and after. The loss can be so deep that it alters who we are and what we become. For a sibling who's been cut off without any choice in the matter, estrangement feels like a chronic rejection and betrayal. This was my experience. Over time, I no longer held the identifying, defining role of sister, sister-in-law, or aunt. My children had no cousins on my side of the family. I dreaded birthdays, holidays, weddings, funerals, family get-togethers, any and every possible encounter with my brother, or, perhaps worse, with his glaring absence. Having no explanation of why he wanted nothing to do with me, I was stuck on a Mobius strip of rumination, caught in a constant state of bereavement. 5 years ago, however, my situation changed. A possibility of reconciliation with my brother surfaced. Naturally, I was mistrustful and skeptical. This wasn't the first time I had gotten my hopes up. Rather than jump in and risk further devastation, I sent myself on a quest.